Most men think women fall in love because of good looks, money, or charm. But that's not true. Women only fall in love with a man for two powerful reasons. If you don't understand these, you'll keep chasing attention instead of building real love. Today, I'll reveal exactly what makes a woman's heart attach deeply and why these two reasons are all that truly matter. Women don't fall for looks, they fall for energy. And this is where so many men get it wrong. You think if you have the right haircut, the perfect jawline, or the best gym body, women will love you deeply. But what you fail to realize is that looks might grab attention, yet they don't hold her heart. Attention is temporary, energy is permanent. Think about it. A woman can admire your appearance for a moment, but if your presence feels cold, arrogant, or empty, she disconnects. She may find you attractive, but she won't feel safe with you. And a woman only attaches where she feels safe. What she's truly drawn to is the way you make her feel when she's around you. That feeling is created not by your face, but by your energy. Energy is invisible, but it's powerful. It's the calmness in your tone, the way you listen without interrupting, the way you carry yourself even when life is chaotic. Energy is how you react under pressure, how you hold your ground instead of being shaken by every little thing. A man who can stay grounded, who can remain calm while the world is storming around him. That's the kind of energy a woman wants to be close to. Now let's go deeper. A man's energy communicates something far stronger than his words. You can tell her you're confident, but if your energy feels insecure, she will sense it. You can act strong on the outside, but if your energy feels scattered, she will feel it. Women are highly intuitive. They don't just listen to what you say, they feel what you carry. Your energy speaks louder than your mouth ever could. So when I say women fall for energy, I mean they fall for the stability you radiate, the calm presence that tells her, with me, you are safe. It's not about being rich, famous, or the most handsome man in the room. It's about being unshakable, consistent, and authentic. When your energy is aligned with strength and purpose, she feels at peace around you. And that peace is what she attaches to. But there's another side. Energy is not only about safety, it's also about growth. A woman falls for the man whose energy pushes her forward. When she feels inspired by you, when she sees how disciplined you are, how passionate you are about your goals, she feels pulled into your world. She wants to rise with you. She falls for the energy that says, I know where I'm going and I'll take you with me. That is why you will notice women stay attached to men who are not necessarily the most attractive, but who carry the right energy. A man with vision, with purpose, with strength in his spirit, he doesn't need to chase love. His energy pulls love toward him. Women sense when a man is empty, just as they sense when a man is full of direction. And they choose the one who has something greater than looks, presence. So understand this, your looks can fade, your money can rise or fall, but your energy is who you are every single day. If your energy makes her feel restless, she will eventually drift away. But if your energy makes her feel secure and inspired, she will naturally move closer to you, because women don't fall in love with the shape of your face, they fall in love with the state of your spirit. The first and most powerful reason a woman falls in love with a man is security, not the kind of security you think of when you hear the word. Most men immediately assume security means money, wealth, or lifestyle. They believe if they provide financially, that is enough to make a woman love them deeply. But that's only the surface level. True security is not about the size of your bank account. It's about the stability you create in her mind and heart. Security means emotional safety. It means a woman can open up without fearing that her words will be used against her. It means she can express her feelings without being judged, mocked, or dismissed. When she tells you her fears, her insecurities, her doubts, and her dreams, she needs to feel that you are listening with patience, not waiting to attack, not waiting to correct, not waiting to shut her down. That kind of emotional safety is rare, and when a man provides it, a woman's heart naturally attaches to him. Security also means consistency. Women do not fall for unpredictable men who change their mood every day. One day he is kind, the next day he is cold. One day he is present, the next day he disappears. That inconsistency creates anxiety, not love. What makes a woman feel secure is knowing that the man in front of her is steady. His actions match his words. His promises are not empty. She doesn't have to constantly wonder if he will leave, if he will betray, or if he will change overnight. That steadiness builds trust, and trust builds love. A woman also feels secure with a man who can control himself. Emotional stability is about self mastery. If you explode in anger at the smallest inconvenience, if you get offended easily, if you throw insults and blame when things don't go your way, your energy feels unsafe. No matter how much you say you care, your behavior tells her otherwise. Women fall for men whose energy remains calm, even in chaos. The man who can regulate his emotions, who can pause instead of react, who can handle stress without collapsing, that is the man who makes a woman feel protected. Understand this: protection is not only physical. Yes, a woman wants to know you can stand up for her if danger comes, but more than that, she wants to know you won't be the danger. She wants to know that her heart, her trust, and her vulnerability will not be weaponized against her. When you give her this kind of emotional stability, she feels she can finally rest in your presence. And that rest is powerful. It makes her love you not because she has to, but because she wants to. Security also comes from leadership. A man who has clarity, who knows what he wants and where he's going, naturally creates a safe space for a woman. She doesn't have to take on the role of guiding the entire relationship because he already leads with certainty. That doesn't mean controlling her. It means carrying himself with direction and strength so that she feels she can rely on him. Women are not attracted to men who are lost, constantly confused, or easily swayed by others. She attaches to the man who has built inner stability first, because his life gives her the reassurance that she will not be left in chaos. When a woman feels this security, her love grows naturally. She no longer feels the need to be on guard, to hide parts of herself, or to live in constant doubt. Her walls come down. She begins to invest her heart, her energy, and her loyalty because she knows she has found a man who will not destroy her emotionally. The second reason a woman falls in love with a man is growth. A woman doesn't want to stay the same version of herself forever. She wants to evolve, to become better, to rise higher than where she is today. And when she meets a man whose presence inspires her, whose energy challenges her, whose leadership pushes her to grow, she falls in love with that energy. Growth means you are not stagnant. You are not living without purpose, drifting from one distraction to another. A man who inspires growth is a man who lives with direction. He has a vision for himself, and he's working toward it daily. His discipline speaks louder than his words. His actions show that he is committed to becoming better. That kind of man doesn't just lead himself, he naturally influences the woman beside him to rise as well. A woman watches how you move. She sees how you handle challenges, how you react to setbacks, how you keep going even when things don't go your way. If she sees you standing firm, continuing to build, continuing to improve, she feels pulled into your world. Your leadership gives her strength. Your consistency makes her want to become consistent. Your growth becomes contagious. Leadership here is not about control. It is not about dominating her choices or silencing her voice. Leadership is about guiding with wisdom and living by example. A woman falls in love with a man who doesn't just tell her what to do, but shows her through his life how to rise higher. He encourages her, supports her dreams, but also sets a standard with his own behavior. She feels inspired because she sees in you a model of growth that she herself wants to follow. Growth also means you are not intimidated by her success. Many men feel threatened when a woman starts to rise, when she achieves, when she shines. But a true leader celebrates her growth because he is secure in himself. He knows that both can grow together. A woman loves a man who pushes her to chase her potential, not one who keeps her small to feel superior. The energy of growth says, I want to see you win because your win is also my win. When a woman is with a man who values growth, she feels her life expanding. She learns more, she achieves more, she believes more. And this deepens her love because she knows this man is not just someone to spend time with. He is someone to build a future with. He is not only her partner, but her source of inspiration. Think about it. Women are emotional beings, but they are also deeply visionary. They look at where a man is headed, not just where he stands. A man who has no direction, no ambition, no discipline, he cannot hold her attention for long. But the man who is building, who is striving, who is constantly leveling himself up, he keeps her inspired. She falls for him not just because of who he is, but because of who he is becoming. Growth and leadership go hand in hand. You cannot lead without growing, and you cannot inspire without leading. A woman attaches herself to the man who embodies both, who not only provides safety in the present, but also opens the door to a greater future. It's not money, it's not gifts, and it's not external validation that makes a woman fall in love. This is where most men get trapped. They think love can be bought, that loyalty can be purchased, that affection can be earned by giving more and more material things. But the truth is, these things can only impress temporarily. They never create deep, lasting love. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy connection. A woman may appreciate the lifestyle you provide. She may enjoy the vacations, the dinners, the luxury, but none of that touches her soul. If you strip all of that away, what's left? If the only reason she is with you is because of the material benefits, then it is not love. It is dependency or convenience. A woman falls in love with who you are, not with what you can buy. Gifts can make her smile, but they cannot make her attach. You can fill her room with flowers, you can cover her with jewelry, you can give her the latest phone or the most expensive handbag, but none of those things carry emotional weight unless they are backed by presence and sincerity. Without genuine connection, gifts become hollow. They are appreciated for a moment, but forgotten soon after. What she remembers is not what you gave her, but how you made her feel while giving it. External validation is even more dangerous. Some men believe if they get constant approval from society, if they are admired by friends, respected by peers, or envied by others, women will automatically love them more. But admiration from the world means nothing if the woman beside you feels unseen, unheard, and unloved. You can have thousands of followers online. You can be the center of attention in every room. But if your energy doesn't make her feel valued in private, she will never fall deeply for you. Real love is not about what you show the world. It's about what you create in private moments. A woman doesn't fall for the image you project on social media or the status you carry in society. She falls for the way you listen to her when no one else is around. She falls for the way you make her feel when she's vulnerable, when she's tired, when she's not dressed up, when she's not performing. That's when your true value is tested, and no amount of money, gifts, or validation can replace it. Think about the men who try to replace emotional presence with material offerings. They believe if they keep providing more, she will finally give her heart. But that's not how love works. A woman may accept the gifts, she may live in the house, she may enjoy the comfort, but her heart will remain detached if she doesn't feel emotionally secure. That's why so many men with wealth still struggle in relationships. They gave her everything, yet they never gave her what she truly wanted: understanding, connection, consistency. The truth is, women crave depth. They crave a man who is steady, who is real, who doesn't need external applause to feel powerful. When you rely only on money, gifts, or validation, you are showing weakness because it means you don't believe your presence alone is enough. And if you don't believe that, she won't either. Consistency is always greater than charm. Charm might attract attention for a moment, but it never sustains love. Most men put all their energy into charm. They know how to say the right words, how to make the right moves, how to impress in the beginning. And yes, charm can be exciting at first. It can spark interest. It can create attraction, but it doesn't last. What lasts is consistency. A woman will not remember every smooth line you said or every performance you gave. She will remember whether you showed up the way you promised. She will remember if your actions matched your words. She will remember if the man she met on day one is the same man she sees on day 100. That stability is what builds trust. And without trust, love cannot survive. Charm can be faked. Consistency cannot. You can pretend to be caring for a week. You can act attentive for a month. You can disguise your flaws with humor and compliments for a while, but eventually the mask comes off. And when it does, she sees the truth. Consistency is the truth. It reveals who you really are when the excitement fades, when the chase is over, when routine sets in. That is when your character speaks louder than your charm ever could. Women are not foolish. They can sense the difference between a man who is charming and a man who is consistent. Charm is often about seeking validation, about wanting her attention, wanting her approval, wanting to prove something. But consistency comes from strength. It comes from a man who doesn't need to perform because he already knows who he is. A consistent man is predictable in the best way. She doesn't have to guess if he will show up. She doesn't have to question if he means what he says. She doesn't have to doubt his intentions. His steadiness speaks louder than any sweet words. Charm excites, but consistency reassures. Charm makes her laugh for a night, but consistency makes her trust for a lifetime. A charming man may win her attention quickly, but a consistent man keeps her heart slowly and steadily. And that's the kind of love that endures. Consistency also shows discipline. It proves that you are not driven only by moods and emotions, but by principles. Anyone can treat a woman well when they are in the mood or when it benefits them. But it takes real strength to treat her with respect, even on the days you are tired, stressed, or distracted. That is what she notices. That is what convinces her that you are reliable. Because consistency is not about being perfect. It is about showing up again and again, even when it is not convenient. Many men fail because they think charm is enough. They believe if they can win her over once, the job is done. But relationships are not won in a single moment. They are built daily. Every day you either strengthen her trust or weaken it. Every action either confirms her belief in you or creates doubt. Charm doesn't build that foundation, consistency does. Charm is for the beginning. Consistency is for the long run. And women do not fall in love with beginnings. They fall in love with what lasts. True love is about presence and purpose. Most men think love is about doing the big things once in a while, buying something expensive, planning a grand gesture, making one emotional confession. But those things fade quickly. What a woman values most is your presence, the quality of attention you bring when you are with her, and your purpose, the direction you live by that gives meaning to your life and to the relationship. Presence is more than being physically there. A man can sit next to a woman for hours and still feel absent because his mind is elsewhere, on his phone, on his stress, on his distractions. A woman feels the difference immediately. She knows when you are listening with your whole attention, and she knows when you are half invested, waiting for her to finish talking. Presence is rare in today's world, and that is why it is so powerful. When you give her your full attention, you are telling her, in this moment, nothing is more important than you. That is what creates emotional safety. That is what makes her feel valued. Presence is also about energy. You don't need to say much. You don't need to constantly entertain or impress. Sometimes just being there with calmness, with stability, with openness is enough. It's the silence that feels comfortable, the eye contact that feels grounding, the small gestures that show consistency. Women fall in love with the presence of a man who makes them feel seen without having to fight for his attention. But presence alone is not enough. A man can be attentive yet directionless. A woman also falls in love with purpose. Purpose means you are living for something bigger than yourself. You are not drifting through life aimlessly. You are pursuing growth, vision, and meaning. A man with purpose has a different energy. He carries himself with clarity. He knows what he wants, and he is willing to put in the discipline to achieve it. That direction gives a woman confidence in him. Purpose also creates inspiration. When a man is dedicated to his vision, he naturally inspires the woman beside him to chase her own. She sees his determination, his focus, his refusal to quit, and it pushes her to rise as well. A man without purpose, no matter how present he is, will eventually drain her, because presence without purpose becomes stagnation. But when presence and purpose meet, a woman feels both secure in the present and hopeful for the future. True love is not about constantly proving yourself with external things. It is about showing up every day with presence and walking forward every day with purpose. That combination makes a woman feel both cherished and inspired. She knows that with you, she is not just living day to day. She is building something meaningful. She knows that you are not only there to hear her heart, but also to lead with vision. And that is why love that is built on presence and purpose feels different. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel shallow. It doesn't fade quickly. It feels grounded and strong. Presence anchors her to you in the now, and purpose gives her a reason to believe in the future with you. Women don't just fall in love with a man, they fall in love with the way his presence calms them and the way his purpose inspires them. So understand this clearly. Women do not fall in love with looks, money, charm, or empty promises. They fall in love with your energy, with the security you provide, with the growth you inspire, with the consistency you embody, and with the presence and purpose you live by. A woman's heart doesn't attach to temporary performances. It attaches to truth. And truth is revealed through the way you carry yourself every single day. If you are stable, if you are disciplined, if you are leading with vision, then you don't need to chase love. Love will chase you, because in the end, it's not about impressing a woman. It's about becoming the kind of man whose energy cannot be ignored. The man who makes her feel safe, the man who pushes her to grow, the man who shows up with consistency, the man whose presence is felt and whose purpose is clear. That is the man she will love, not for a moment, but for a lifetime.